The only new thing that this law gets is the peaceful speech.
Not so, asserts Planned Parenthood's Walls. The 35-foot buffer zone is a reasonable time, place, and manner regulation of speech, akin to regulating how loud you can play music at night.
Nothing else in our 30-year history has worked.
Prosecuting people after they've violated criminal statutes doesn't solve anything, she says, because it happens after the fact.
What you want to do is create an environment in where people can get health care when they need it, when they have an appointment, rather than have them leave because they're afraid or they're blocked from getting in the door and then seeking a remedy.
At the Supreme Court today, there will essentially be two questions. First, does the Massachusetts buffer law go too far, or is it permissible under the court's 2000 ruling allowing some buffer zones? Second is whether the court should reverse that 2000 decision entirely. The vote in that case was 6-3, with the court ruling that in situations like those at abortion clinics, unwilling listeners have some right to be let alone. The dissenters, however, were furious.
Does the deck seem stacked? You bet.
Justice Antonin Scalia.
Our long-standing commitment to uninhibited, robust, and wide-open debate is miraculously replaced by the power of the state to protect an unheard-of right to be let alone on the public streets. I dissent.
Scalia and his fellow dissenters are still on the court, but most of the majority justices from 2000 are gone, replaced in some cases by more conservative justices. For now, though, outside the Boston Planned Parenthood clinic, the scene remains fairly constant. Even we were caught up in the buffer zone when we stopped to talk to protester Bill Cotter. Do you feel very constrained by these yellow lines?
Yes.
And as I started to ask my next question with my feet squarely inside the yellow line, a security guard came out.
How are you? You just have to be outside the line when you're doing this.
Oh, okay.
All right. Thank you.
Not that this is an experience unusual for any reporter in Washington. We get moved around all the time. Indeed, even lead plaintiff Eleanor McCullen often stands far outside the buffer zone. You know, Eleanor, I noticed something. There is this yellow line, but you're well beyond it. You're another 12, 15 feet beyond it standing here.
Well, that's true.
And why is that?
Well, I move around. I go wherever the Holy Spirit leads me.
Where the legal spirit leads the Supreme Court, we'll know by summer. Nina Totenberg, NPR News, Washington.
This is Morning Edition on WAMU 88.5 in Washington, 88.3 in Ocean City, Maryland.
Support for NPR comes from NPR member stations and from Carbonite, providing automatic cloud backup for small business computers and servers. Details at carbonite.com. From Road Scholar, with educational travel adventures to 150 countries, including Cuba this winter, at roadscholar.org. From care.com, offering home pay, a solution for nanny tax obligations, from payroll tax to tax filings. Learn more at care.com. And from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. This is NPR.
Support for WAMU 88.5 comes from University of Maryland University College, offering bachelor's and master's degrees for today's in-demand careers. Learn more about how to help advance your career at umuc.edu. And from General Dynamics Information Technology, dedicated to navigating enterprise IT complexities with the fewest disruptions along the way. General Dynamics IT, gdit.com.